First day of the Humans to Mars Summit for 2019. I'm Kaplan from the Planetary Society, here for Explore Mars. I hope you were with us for a lot of the really exciting and fascinating conversations that took place today. We're going to keep it up. We're going to start up again tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And I want to let you know that right up front, we're going to start with a bang with a session that will be just a couple of people, but pretty amazing folks. Humphrey Hoppy Price, who is the Chief Engineer for the Mars program at the Jet Propulsion Lab, about where I come from in California. He will be joined by Paul Wooster, who is the Principal Mars Development Engineer for SpaceX. So that should be very exciting. And then, very soon after that, a pretty inspiring conversation will be had, I am sure. If you have never heard them, I highly recommend that you join us later in the morning for a discussion with the Afghan Girls Robotics Team. That's exactly what they are. This is a very courageous team of young women who are here from Afghanistan, and they are fighting for STEM in their home nation, facing much greater challenges than a lot of us will ever know. And much, much more going on, basically from about 8 to 5 tomorrow Eastern Time. You can tune in right here where you've been watching us today for the Humans to Mars Summit. Okay, taking up a lot of room now in the aisle, we have quite a crowd, and it's a group that we had some representation from last year. I was just looking behind me to see if we're going to have anybody else try to come up. And you guys scrunch together here and fill in right next to me as well. We already met one person from the Weiss School in Florida, and that's Alexa, who's right to my side here. But as you can see, she's here with a lot of her colleagues. And they are here with some folks from the school and I think a couple of parents. This is, if you missed the conversation earlier today with Alexa, or if maybe you didn't catch the conversation with the group last year, this is a pretty accomplished group of young people at a pretty amazing school. And Alexa, because you're next to me, and I know that you can speak very well because you're on the debate team, who else is on the debate team? Pretty much everybody, right. They're almost all aerospace and almost all debate team, which tells you a lot right there about the school. Tell me about the group here. These are all your friends and colleagues.
Yeah, so we are a mixed group of 6th graders through 8th graders, and mostly all of the students here are a mixture of aerospace and debate students, because at the Weiss School, we know it's very important that you can not only have the knowledge and understand the concept, but also be able to communicate your thoughts and be able to communicate what you're thinking. So this is that group of highly selective students who are able to do both of those.
Well said, and that's a good demonstration. I mean, the congressman was talking about liberal arts degrees. You guys are going in both directions, it sounds like. I want to hear from somebody about what it was like to be here today as a part of Humans to Mars. Pretty cool opportunity for young people like you. Anybody else want to speak up? We've talked to Alexa. Yeah, what's your name?
I'm Theo. It's a great opportunity to be here, partially because we're basically the youngest, one of the youngest people here, and there's so many great people here, and there's aerospace titans, there's Congress members, etc., and it's just a great opportunity to meet and see all these great people.
Anybody else want to talk about what it's been like to be part of this?
I'm William, and it was truly a great honor to be here. I really enjoyed the experience, and I really enjoyed learning that that exploring and eventually colonizing Mars is more than an idea on the blackboard. It is an idea that is actually being put to motion.
Well said. What were your highlights? Who had a favorite moment during the day? I know you weren't here in the auditorium the whole time, but from some of the stuff that you've heard, come on down here and stand right next to me so that we can keep you in the light where the camera can see you. What's your name?
Logan.
So what did you like, Logan?
So I really enjoyed the bit about STEM, the panel about STEM and how it connected to space, because if it weren't for the Weiss School, I would have never gone into space, because I didn't have a STEM program because I went to a public school before I came to Weiss, so I really got the STEM that I needed to get into space. So I really enjoyed that talk.
Anybody else? Girls?
So I think also it definitely have to be the panel about STEM education, specifically what Alexa was talking about, because it's great to see that there's so much support for it, because it's really needed to get students interested in it at a really young age, and it's something that we're trying to focus on.
So you guys, you're lucky. You go to a terrific school that's doing amazing stuff. We'll talk more about that in a second. But you've earned it as well. I'm sure you're all working your tails off to be able to come up to the standards that the school sets. Not everybody, not every person your age in this country or elsewhere has those kinds of opportunities. I mean, do you wish they did? Alexa, I'll let you respond.
Yeah, we definitely recognize how fortunate we are to have those opportunities, which is why we try to have as much community outreach as possible. For example, I mentioned it in my panel about how we created a federal resolution to raise awareness for the CubeSat launch initiative, because a lot of it is just people not knowing about it, so they don't have those opportunities. And we are also going to work with Title I students in our upcoming, building our upcoming CubeSat, so that they can have that exposure and that can feed into the STEM pipeline. So they learn those skills at a young age, so they have those employable skills when they get older.
That's great. That's really outstanding. I'm glad you brought up the CubeSat again. I talked with Alexa about it earlier today. Who's on the CubeSat team? Everybody? Almost. Do we have somebody here who's been sort of a leader or one of the leaders of the team? That you? Come on down here, stand right next to me. And what's your name?
I'm Sam Hoshi. Recently, around March, we had a CubeSat proposal known as the CapSat-1 accepted. I'm the co-investigator of that mission. It's really been an...
You're talking about March of 2018?
March of 2019.
So the new CubeSat.
Yeah, the CapSat-1. It's been a really incredible experience to be the co-investigator of that mission, and I'm excited for the years to come working on that mission and getting able to actually launch it.
That's pretty cool. And remind us, Alexa mentioned it earlier today, what will this CubeSat be doing up in orbit, in low Earth orbit?
So it's testing a novel electrical power system technology that uses what are known as capacitors, which compares to regular batteries in space. And we're seeing how those compare in terms of efficiency to regular batteries.
And I think they're sometimes called supercapacitors because they do act like batteries, right?
Yes, they do, yeah. They act like regular batteries, except they charge up energy and let it out at intervals in time, except for, aside from storing energy, which is normally in batteries, they just charge up energy and let it out in discharges. That's their main differentiator, but they could also be much safer than normal batteries, which is why we're testing them.
So this is pretty exciting. I mean, you're testing real technologies that might have real use for missions to Mars or someplace else. That's really interesting, I would say. Again, it sounds like a tremendous opportunity to be able to participate in something like this and to know, I mean, who's excited about putting something in space? Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected. All right, we're going to wrap it up here because I know you folks probably have some place to go, and I know everybody here in the auditorium also has places to go. Thank you very much for joining me at the end of today's Humans to Mars Summit. This has been a great way to finish off everything that we've been doing today. And best of luck with that CubeSat, and best of luck with your future studies and your professions. You know, my boss is a guy you may have heard of, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh. Can I get a on 3 science rules? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Science rule.
Oh, you can do better than that. Come on, give me some Weiss School enthusiasm. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
Science rule.
That's more like it. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, that's it. We're going to wrap up. As I said here, we will be back at 8 a.m. tomorrow for the second day of the Humans to Mars Summit from Explore Mars, coming to you from the National Academy of Sciences here in Washington, D.C. I'm Matt Kaplan. Looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning. Have a great evening.